Hello sir, I'm Vishnupriya, 23 MIA 1039. The topic I have chosen today for video lecturing is KERBEROS, which is nothing but the authentication protocol. So we have a lot of authentication protocol. In the first place, we need to understand why do we actually need KERBEROS. And before that, I'll tell you what is authentication. Okay, so when there is a message being a communication being taking place between a client and the server, or when a client is requesting a service from the server, we need to first verify that say the client is Alice. Okay, so when there is a service being requested by Alice, we need to ensure that it is being asked by Alice only, not from anyone else. We need to verify the Alice is actually Alice, but no one else. Okay, so for this we need to authenticate, and then we can provide the service to Alice. Okay, so for this we need Kerberos. What is the basic thing we use for authentication? It is using the username and the password. So when there is a portal or something, you enter your username and password, and you verify, the verification takes place, right? The authentication to verify that the right user is logging into the portal. This is called authentication, and this is the main thing we use. That's how we verify our authentication. But there are two main flaws in this, which is eavesdropping and the replay attack. Eavesdropping means when there is a hacker, and he intercepts into the network, and eavesdropping means he eavesdrop, like he drops his ears and intercepts into the password, and he understands what the password is. Okay, and with this he can do the replay attack. Replay attack means once he knows the username and the password, he can again log into the portal with your username and the password, but it is not you who's actually logging into the portal, right? He has both username and the password with which he can easily get into the portal. Okay, so we need to read a way to authenticate without sending the actual password. For this, we have Kerberos. It works on tickets. It has TGT, which is the ticket granting ticket, and the service ticket. So we'll get into that. Yeah. So, what is Kerberos in the first place? A network authentication protocol that uses secret key cryptography to provide strong authentication for client server applications. See, it is based on asymmetric key cryptography. Okay, so know what's cryptography, which is here in the client side, the message is being encrypted with a key, and it is being transmitted over the network to the server side here, and again the server decrypts it using the key. Okay, this is the basic secret key cryptography we use, which can be used for authentication. This is called Kerberos, and the main characteristics of Kerberos would be, you may think what this weird name Kerberos comes from. So it is from the Greek mythology. It is Cerberus. From the word Cerberus, it comes. Okay, the word Cerberus means the three-headed dog. It is the three-headed dog is named Cerberus in Greek mythology, and this and it is used for uh, protecting or guarding the underworld. It comes from the word Kerberos comes from Cerberus. Okay, so here the Kerberos also guards the entire communication, right? So it is coming from the word Cerberus. Next thing, it works on the basis of tickets, as I already said. We will get into that shortly. Okay, next, it provides mutual authentication. So the client also needs to know that the server is the right one, and the server also needs to know that the message is actually from Alice. The service is being requested from Alice only, and not from anyone else. Okay, so Alice also needs to know that it is from uh, the the Alice also needs to know that the service she requests is from the right server. Okay, this is called mutual authentication and single sign-on. See, let's take an analogy, real life analogy. This would be a great example. See, when you need to travel, you get a passport. That is the main thing, like the entry point. Okay, so once you get a passport, that is fine. And when you want to travel to countries, you get a visa with the help of the passport. So you needn't have to get passport again and again when you travel to new countries. Once you get a passport with which you can get visa, this is called the single sign on. So once you enter the password, see, for example, when you enter the password in the morning, and you do all the communication, and then in the evening again, if you want to access it, you needn't have to again type the entire password in the username. It has already been verified, which is like the passport you have in the when you want to travel. Okay, that's how it is. The key characteristics are these. Next, three main things, three main components in Kerberos are the client, the key distribution center, and the service server. Okay, so the client is, as I already said, the um, Alice. She is the one who requests the services from the server. Okay, the key distribution center. It is the trusted third party, which is the heart of Kerberos. It has two parts, which is the authentication server, and another is the issue ticket granting server. Authentication server verifies the user's initial login, and the ticket granting server issues tickets for specific services. Okay, when you want to access the file server, for email, for printer. So for each one of them, you get a different ticket granting ticket. Okay, from the ticket granting server. And again, next it comes to the service server, the main server, the one who issues, who satisfies the server services you ask. Okay, the services which Alice asks. Okay, so next we'll see how Kerberos works. The three main things we'll see. Okay, and I'll elaborate it on the next slide. There is a diagrammatic representation of how the entire things works. I'll explain it in words. You can connect it with the diagram and you can study. Okay, so now the first step would be you need to get a tickets. There are two tickets, as I already said, which is the ticket granting ticket, the TGT, and the other one is um, service ticket. Okay, so get a ticket to get tickets, which is client authenticates with the server. Authentication server is the one who provides you the initial thing, the passport, for example. Authentication service does that, and you get the ticket granting server, which is the main thing, the first thing. Okay, next you get a service ticket. Client uses the TGT, which you already got from the authentication server, to ask the ticket granting server. You have two things, okay, authentication server and the ticket granting server. So client uses the TGT and asks TGS for a service ticket. Service ticket, with the help of the service ticket, you can get the service you requested for. Okay, for a service, for a specific service, for each service it has a specific different tickets. Okay, access the service. Client presents the service ticket to the desired server, and you get the access. Okay, these are the three main things. Now we'll see this elaborately. Uh, see, the authentication server and the ticket granting server together form the KDC, the key distribution center. So I'll give you the entire flow. Okay, first the user logs in and requests the authentication server saying I am Alice. So first thing you'll be doing is you need to go to the authentication server and tell that I am Alice only. Okay, the next thing would be the authentication server needs to check if the it can't directly trust you, right? So it has to verify that Alice is actually Alice and no one else. Okay, so then it creates two things, which is the TGT, as we already discussed. The first step is the TGT, which is the ticket granting ticket, and the next thing is the session key. Two things are being created by the authentication server, and the session key, which I already mentioned, is being encrypted with Alice's password. Okay, first thing would be the Alice enters the username and the password. So with the password, a key is generated, and the session key is being encrypted with the Alice's password. Okay, the two things has been created by the authentication server. So now, see, first client and the authentication server, the communication takes place, and the authentication server creates two things and sends it to the Alice. Okay, sends it to Alice. So the client decrypts the session key using user's password. See, client, which is the Alice, has her username and the password, right? So when authentication server sends the session key, which is being encrypted with the authentication with this which is being encrypted with the password of the Alice, when it reaches Alice, she can easily decrypt it using her own password, right? So when this cannot be done by Alice, then you understand that Alice is not the right one. Okay, the authorized person. When a key is being encrypted uh, with Alice password, then she should be able to decrypt it with the Alice password, right? When this cannot be done, then on the first place you understand that Alice is not the right one. So let's see, the decryption has been done. Okay, the client, which is the Alice, decrypts the session key using user's password, which is her password. Okay, then the client creates an authenticator. Authenticator is nothing but the timestamp, which is being encrypted with the session key. The session key you got in the previous step. The session key you decrypt with the password. Okay, so by decrypting you get the session key, and the session key is used to get create the authenticator. Authenticator is nothing but the timestamp. The timestamp is being encrypted with the session key. Okay, and the client sends it along with the TGT, TGT, which was created already, and which was sent to Alice. Okay, the TGT and the what authenticator is being sent, um, sends along the TGT and the authenticator is being sent to the ticket granting server. First, the authentication server and the Alice communication has been done. Now, Alice and ticket granting servers communication is being taken place. Okay, so when the both the things are being sent to the ticket granting server, the TGS, ticket granting server, decrypts TGT, gets the session key. Okay, we need session key, right? And the session key is used to decrypt the authenticator. Why? Because the authenticator has been encrypted with the session key, so you can decrypt it only using the session key. Okay, so now if it is valid, TGS creates service ticket. Okay, when it is valid, the TGS, the ticket granting server, which is here, creates the service ticket for file server. Okay, for example, when the client, the Alice is being requested, she is requesting some file related service, then for that you need to have a service ticket, right? So, and a new server session key. The TGS creates service ticket and a new server session key. Okay, the server session key is the one which will enable you to get the services you requested. Okay, this is sent to the client by the TGS. See, in the previous step, TGS decrypts the TGT and gets the session key, and uses it to decrypt the authenticator. When it is valid, the TGS creates service ticket for file server and a new server session key. Okay, this is sent to the client. The client sends the service ticket to and a new authenticator. A new authenticator is nothing but a new timestamp which is being encrypted with the server session key, which you already got from the TGS. Okay, TGS creates two things, which is the server ticket and the new server session key. It is being sent to the Alice, and the Alice sends the service ticket and the new authenticator, which is nothing but the timestamp encrypted with the session key, to TGS. Um, and the file server decrypts the okay client sends service ticket and the new authenticator to the file server, not TGS but the file server. It is the final communication, right? First, it Alice and AS communicates. Next, Alice and TGS communicates. Then Alice and file server communicates. In intermediate steps, you get the tickets you require for the next steps. Okay. So the file server decrypts the service ticket and gets the session key and verifies the authentication. Finally, this is how it ends. Okay, the authentication has been verified now. So why is this secure? Let's see the key concepts and these security features. Why is it secure? Because it has tickets. Um, it is used for the steps ahead. So you need tickets for that, and you have authenticators, which is the timestamp. Authenticators are nothing but an extra security that which helps you ensure that Alice is actually Alice and no one else. And you have session keys, which is um, used for verification. And uh, another thing it is highly secure is you directly don't type your password, right? It is being encrypted and then transmitted. That's how it works. So security features, it has mutual authentication. Even the client and the server can verify their authentication, not just the client or not just the server. And replay attack protection. So since you are not typing your password, any attacker who intercepts into the network cannot understand your password, or can do the replay attack. Next thing is the SSO, single sign on, which is I already explained the analogy with the passport and the visa. Okay. Next thing, the pros and cons. So the advantages would be it has high security because you are not typing the passwords. The next thing would be the single sign on, which we already saw, and the efficient for the user and standardized and widely supported. Okay. The next, the limitations would be when the KDC goes down, the entire thing goes down, and you need to have a trusted third party, which is the KDC. All clients and servers must be time synchronized for timestamps. So since you are using timestamps, it differs from time to time, right? It is unique. So um, you need to have a time synchronized thing. Primarily an internal network protocol needs set up for a public internet services. Okay, these are the various advantages and limitations. So it is done for the day. Thank you.